Like any of you man that are not old enough, go watch Premier League years from the early 90s, late 90s, and tell me how shit the football was. Like,
the football wasn't the greatest. Absolutely
the
not.
football was horrible, blood. Listen, yeah, the English teams were not the best teams in Europe here most of the time, bro. Like, that's just how it was. Football in this country was not good, bro. Like, English teams were not dominating in Europe, bro. Like, for most of the time, they weren't, bro. Like, let's stop pretending, bro. Like, we've just reeled off a number of times that Man United got slapped out in the group stages, got slapped out early doors, and still won the league in England, bro. Like, the level of the Premier League, yeah, right now, it's never been this good, bro. Most of the time, it was a two-horse race, blood, when we was winning Premier League titles and doubles and all them things. It was a two-horse race with Arsenal, bruv. Then it became a three-horse race with Chelsea and then Man City. And when Chelsea and Man City got money and started coming through, how many league titles did we win, bro? Like, how many league titles did we win once we had Chelsea and Man City in the league, bro? One? With bread? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Let's be real. Like, as soon as Chelsea come in, bro, Jose was spliffing.
Yeah, because he won
Jose was putting, Wenger and Fergie in a spliff, made flipping Wenger retire. Do you know what I mean? The Man City come with their sugar daddy tax, bruv, and they had all Mancini winning titles.
We alternated with them in it for like 3-4 years, in it. Chelsea came,
that's what I'm saying.
And it came, and then Chelsea.
But
then
this is what I'm saying, bro. Like,
but again,
bro, rose tinted glasses, bro. Like rose tinted glasses, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Man is crazy.
Let me see. With these things here, like I say, because we're talking such like the cream of the crop with the managers, whether it's Carlo, we're talking Fergie here. These things here is all preference. This is like having the GOAT conversation debate. Because if someone turns around and says to me, I think Fergie's the GOAT because of this, and this, I go, fully understand it. Don Carlo's the same, Pep's the same, Mourinho's the same. It's the same with players. What do you prefer? What is your criteria on it? What do you Europe? Someone guarantee there's someone in the chat who say, yo, Zidane's the best because he won 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues. 100%.
But bro, these men are talking about the difference between managers and coaches. They're saying that Zidane, Carlo, and them man are good managers. That's why they're winning Champions Leagues and cups. Man are saying that Pep's more of a coach, and that's why he does better in the league. Maybe there's something in that. Maybe there is something in that. Do you know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Maybe because Pep's story's not finished yet. We don't know how it's going to end. With Fergie, we can look at it in totality and go, yo, your career's over.
I know what you mean, but bro, like any of you man that are not old enough, go watch Premier League years from the early 90s, late 90s, and tell me how shit the football was. Like,
the football wasn't the greatest. Absolutely not.
The football was horrible, blood. Listen, yeah, the English teams were not the best teams in Europe here most of the time, bro. Like, that's just how it was. That's just how it was. I don't care, bro. Like, now we've got Liverpool and Man City, two of the best teams in the world, bro. Two of the best teams in the world. When Man United and Chelsea got to the finals in 2008, that's the closest we've had to two English teams being as strong as these two are right now. It's the closest.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? It's the closest it's been, bro. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, bro, exactly. But other than that, flawless, it ain't been that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When you look at the Man United teams, man think that the Premier League was mad competitive, blood, and we are playing Phil Jones at centre mid and that.
No, it wasn't. No. It definitely wasn't mad competitive. Like with each league, we'll see it, and it will go in cycles. And there will come a time where the Premier League will fall off, and it'll be Bundesliga, or it'll be La Liga, or it will be Serie A. Like Serie A in the 90s was crazy. Like during that period of times, in terms of
we were challenging for Premier Leagues with players like Alan Smith, and man want me to take the Premier League seriously, bro.
It's funny because at the time we were dominating the Premier League and winning them back to back to back. Nobody said nothing, but when it happens in other leagues, they call it a farmers league.
Yeah, again, because that's why I don't call it a farmers league, because that's all preference. Because was the Premier League at that time United was dominating the best of the best at times? No. Do I care? No, I'm like, yo, that's your lookout. You lot get better. Don't blame us for you lot being shit. It's like when people say, oh, United dominated in the 90s. That's the only reason why. Just because your team was shit, it's not on me. Just because Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea were not at our level, don't take away from what we was doing. If we were winning the league 3 times, get better in it. You know what I'm saying? That's not on us. You lot get better. That's exactly how I'm looking at it. And the reason why I mentioned it with Pep, Because if Pep then does win the Champions League next year, this whole conversation changes. Or if he wins 2 in the next 5 years, which is a possibility, let's not act like it's not. Then we're having a whole different conversation. Say Zidane comes back and starts to dominate leagues wherever he goes to and actually win some league titles. These stories ain't finished, people. The film's halfway through. You can't tell me the film's 10-10 and we stopped halfway through. There's still an hour and a half of it left. We don't know how these stories end, but we can guess.
When man's saying, yo, the quality of players has decreased, yes, it has, bro, but man's not talking about that. I'm not talking about domestically, bro. I'm talking about world football, bro. Like, world football in the 90s, they were ballers, but they weren't playing in the Prem.
Yeah.
You know, like that. They weren't playing in the Prem, bro. Like, the Prem was scrubby in the 90s, bruv. Like, it was rubbish. Like, for me, the peak of football was the 2000s, innit? Like, 2000 to early 2000 to 2010. For me, that's probably like the pinnacle of football greatness, brother. And most of them players weren't playing in the Premier League either. They were playing in Serie A. They were playing in La Liga. They weren't really playing in the Premier League. The Premier League only started attracting like top foreign players, yeah, with like the big money and all these other things, bro. Do you know what I mean? Before Man City were bringing players like Robinho and that, bro. Man weren't seeing Robinhos in England if it weren't for Man City's money. Do you know what I mean? You wasn't seeing those things, bro. Ian Robin came to fucking Chelsea. He wasn't a big name then, bro. Like, he was a prospect. You know them ones, like, man, we're not signing superstars in the Prem. Superstars were not coming to the Premier League to play, bro. Henry wasn't a superstar when he came. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he became a superstar here, bro. Like, superstars were not coming to this country because the football was shit, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Man were getting kicked up in the air, blood. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, people,
you know, like that.
People will listen to what you just said and say, yeah, but maybe they were just scared of coming to the Prem because it was too physical. No, it just the football just wasn't attractive. You would rather go play at AC Milan, and I'm talking about the early 2000s. As a player in, let's say, a 25-year-old in 2004-5 would rather go play for AC Milan or Inter Milan or Barcelona or Real Madrid, where you can play silky football, actually learn football, rather than coming to the Prem where it's just kick and rush and they kick you the whole game.
100%. Ronaldinho chose Barca over us, bro. Of
course you're going to. As a Brazil, like I've said this before, if you look however many years back, all top Brazilian players played for Real Madrid, Barcelona, or both. That's his call. All of them did. If you are Latin speaking, so if you're Spanish speaking, Portuguese speaking, or somewhere, well, South America, same difference. You are going to, they're the two teams you look at. They're the two teams on the pedestal. That's why we all knew Ronaldo was going to go over to Spain.
I would even argue that in the early 2000s, again, bro, even countries like France and Germany were more attractive than England, bro. Like, all the superstars that we know from the early 2000s, the Roy Mackays, the Michael Ballocks, the Schweinsteigers, they all stayed in Germany. They didn't come to England because they couldn't be bothered.
Right. Michael Ballack come towards the end of his career. Do you know what I mean? All them players that Chelsea got, like Crespo, George Weah, all these men came for a little payday at the end, bro. But they spent their best years abroad, bro. Like, even Barcelona, when Ronaldinho went there, he went there, yeah, to be the marquee player under Joan Laporta, yeah, but to bring them back, bro. They weren't even like at the pinnacle of Europe when he went there. He chose a Barcelona, yeah, that was in a rebuild phase, other than coming to Man United, who were on smoke, bro. Because Barca was just more attractive, because man look at the Prem as some dead league, bro, where man are just kicking people.
Yeah,
that's just it.
And like I said, that's probably the team he grew up like I say, he's been Brazil in it. Like Barcelona, like however many great Brazilians have played for Barcelona. You want to follow in their footsteps in that. 100%. And of course, Modric went to Real Madrid because there was a time Real Madrid and Barcelona were coming and just taking all the Premier League's best players. Your Xabi Alonso's.
They took Van Nistelrooy from us.
Bale, Van Nistelrooy. The list goes on and that. Like, and the list goes on and on, where they just come and just pinch your best players. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, being the biggest one. But yeah, that's how it works in that. Yeah, man, because it's Ronaldo, of course, man, because Real Madrid would have been the team he grew up like watching. Like, he's Portuguese. If you look at great Portuguese player, they played for Real Madrid.
The fact that we had just won the Champions League and he still wanted to leave us for Real Madrid tells you everything.
Because he wanted to leave the season before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Fergie said, give us one more year, but you know what you're getting when you sign these players in that. It's not, you're not signing players from other areas in Europe where it's like Manchester United are the biggest like club in the world, or like who they support as a child. Nah, man, it's your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas. That's why I said go back and look when it comes to Brazil and Argentinian players. They all play for Spain. I mean, they all go and play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. Suarez, another one. They all do.
Yeah. no matter how well or bad these teams do, the prestige will always be. And
it's the prestige.
A good recent example is Ferran Torres. But he came to Man City, and after a year he dipped because Barcelona were like, "Yo, you want to come?" He's like, "Say less, I'm there." You just can't say this, bro. Especially for Hispanic players, it's impossible for them to say no to either Real Madrid or Barcelona. It's impossible.
And because them man have real clout, bro.
Yeah, and the same way we speak on it when it comes to Manchester United with English players. Like, you don't have to sell Manchester United to English players. English players know. This is why it's easy for us to sign those, or whether it's a Scottish player, Irish player, or other parts of Europe. Manchester United are easy sell because they have clout in that sense with them. The same way the Spanish teams do. It's all about where you grew up and what country you grew up in. And people want to follow in their footsteps. Of course you do. If you're Portuguese, of course you want to play for Real Madrid. Figo's been there. Ronaldo's been there. And there's probably more Portuguese players. And forget, why would you not want to go and do that? Same with Brazil. Like Ronaldinho seen Brazilian Ronaldo there. He's seen
Romario.
He's seen Romario there. Like, you've seen stars who you grew up watching. Neymar was there. Like, this is not like Neymar's then gone there. Like, this is not a point. The next Brazilian, whoever it is, will probably end up there at some point. Whoever that star is, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. So that's what I'm saying. And you can't buy those things. So, bro, like, just because man was successful in that period, trust me, man were dominating this league the way Bayern Munich were dominating their league. You know that, man. And everyone was turning around saying their league was shit. But as soon as I say the Prem was shit, man want to say, "Oh my God, you're disrespecting the manager." No, the Prem was dead, bro. Every season I knew it was us or Arsenal that were going to win the league. More times it was going to be us. And then if Arsenal won it one year, we knew the next year we were winning it again because they weren't allowed to do a back-to-back thing. They weren't allowed, innit? We just didn't allow that.
Wenger didn't do that. Like that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do back-to-back. So everybody whose childhoods was ruined by United, hold that. You know what I'm saying? Cry more. I'm saying, hold that.
Every year, bro. It was like supporting Bayern, bro. The one time Dortmund won it, you're like, hold on a minute. All right, next year we're gonna duppy these man. That's all it was. Yeah, that's all it was. So no one can't turn around and say, "Oh my God, the Prem was so competitive." This is the most competitive the Prem's ever been, bro. Back in the day, Man United could go and spend £30 million on a player and go and take the best player from any team they wanted to take it from because no one else had bread. It's not like that now, bro. Yeah, you got Man United. Man United can't even get Harry Kane now. If this was Sir Alex Ferguson's days, bro, he would have gone and taken Harry Kane immediately, bro. Just like man took Wayne Rooney. No problem.
Which is crazy. That's how Keane was speaking when he spoke in the past about Kane. Like, go get him. He was speaking like it was then. I remember he was on Sky Sports and he was saying that. And he was like, "Yo, he's playing for Spurs." He's like, "Yo, go get him." Because he still sees Spurs as that side. It's like it's not that anymore. But hey, hopefully we turn around and dominate. I'm all for it. Because all that whole, it's Farmers Leagues, I don't even care about all that. Is my team successful? Like, Bayern Munich fans, people will diss it from the outside. Find me a Bayern Munich fan that's pissed that they dominate their league. I bet they couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying? Bring me more Bundesligas.
That man just won the league. That man just won the league for the 10th year in a row. Do you think they care? No.
Yo, I guarantee there's probably a parade in Munich. You know what I'm saying? In that, there's probably some parade partying, fans partying in Munich because they couldn't care less. This is why people always want to put asterisks and things on success. All you have to do, win the league, innit? You know what I'm saying? In that, that's all it is. I would love United to dominate the league for the next 10 years. People are like, I want entertainment. What's more entertaining than winning?
That's what I mean. And then a man says, if the Premier League's different now, then it still wouldn't be a 2-horse race. That is nonsense. Because the reason why Man United and Arsenal were dominating is because, bruv, they were the teams that were spending the most money, bro. Everyone's got money now, bro. Man United have spent just as much money as Liverpool, but the difference is Man United ain't spending it properly. Man United are fucked, not competing for titles, not because they don't have bread. Do you know what I mean? Or because people are taking their best players. Because Man United don't need to sell to buy. Man United have never had to sell to buy. The reason why United are struggling is because they're run like a circus. It's got nothing to do with the fact that the Prem being less competitive. Because if Man United spent their money well, if Chelsea spent their money well, they spent 100 million on Lukaku. It hasn't paid off. 100 million on a striker that's sitting on the bench, bro. Like, that is the reason why Chelsea aren't competing. It's because they haven't spent well recently. They spent big on Ziyech, hasn't paid off. They spent big on Havertz. I'm yet to see it really pay off. Do you know what I mean? Timo Werner wasn't cheap. He's on big wages, hasn't paid off. The reason why Chelsea are struggling right now is because they spent badly. It's not because they have not spent. Back in the day, nobody was spending money. Even Arsenal's Premier League record was Sylvain Wiltord for ages, like 13 million. Wenger wasn't spending money.
He didn't spend. He'd go and find diamonds in the rough. Just go to the French league.
Man United was spending 30 million every season, and Wenger did a little 11 million Frenchman blood. Like, You know, like that, bro. Like that's what he was doing. They couldn't believe it when Arsenal signed Ozil. They're like, oh my god, Arsenal actually spent some money.
That's,
you know, like that.
See, when that happened, I had the same reaction. Was it deadline day? I was like, "Raw, Arsenal got Ozil."
Couldn't believe it.
I was like, "Yeah,"
because they were trying to get to the party. That's why they're like, "All right, we need to invest." But like I said, people think you have to spend big to be successful. Do you? Yes, but you have to also spend it well. Spending money doesn't guarantee success, but there's no getting to the top on the cheap. Don't happen. Look at the teams that win trophies; they all invest heavily. They all invest heavily, whether it's City, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Real Madrid.
Andre Arshavin was 18 million record in 2009. 2009, bro. 2009. That's the year we sold Cristiano for like 80 M's or something like that. And their record was 18 million pounds. Do you know how mad that is?
And again, people, that's why they never win in Europe. And this is why they never dominated. You have to invest heavily, people. You have to.
Yeah.